Today we unpack Geoffrey Hinton's. Okay, let's start again. Today we unpack Geoffrey Hinton's stark warnings on AI. Massive unemployment, soaring profits for a few, and what founders, workers, and policymakers should actually do next. We'll separate headline shock from practical strategy so you leave with some clear moves, not anxiety. So we have a huge warning that jobs are all going away and we're all going to be poor in the future. What's going on here, John?
Yeah, so his core argument, it centers on structural economic incentives rather than technological limitations. So, is what's actually going to happen is rich people are going to use AI to replace workers. It's going to create massive unemployment and a huge rise in profits. It's also going to make few people much richer and most people poorer. And he's saying it's not AI's fault. He's saying that's how the capitalist system works. And so this is a fundamental critique of how market forces drive AI deployment. So unlike previous technological revolutions where new industries emerge to absorb displaced workers, Hinton is suggesting that AI's general purpose nature means it can replace cognitive work across multiple sectors simultaneously, which essentially could create unprecedented displacement without equivalent job creation in new industries. And it's nothing new, but getting it from the godfather of AI or hearing it from the godfather of AI just has a different ring to it. What are your thoughts, Craig? What do you think about this?
Well, I've been talking in general about this even before, we've had this, obviously, because you said this is not the first time we heard it, but hearing it from the Godfather AI kind of validates all the stuff we've been talking about. And we have two schools of thought. Hey, let's do everything with AI, and I hate AI. And yeah, there's a middle ground in between. AI is going to take all our jobs and it's going to kill us all. And I'm kind of, AI will kill us all, but it's inevitable from you can't stop the flood.
Yeah.
From when we move to the printing press, if you're still writing things by hand, you're going to be left behind. When we move to factories, if you're still doing things a different way, you're going to be left behind. When these things shift, you're going to be left behind. So, the rule of thumb and the mantra is, it's only partially true. AI won't replace your job. People who know how to use AI will replace your job.
Yeah.
So, one person with the right AI tools can do the job of several people. So what, is that, that's the same thing with the printing press, same thing with, when we went from the hand-driven plows to tractors, when the farms, like this is another revolution. So we'll call it the AI revolution. And we can sit back and say capitalism is driving it, which is definitely partially true. And we're in the middle of a AI bubble that will burst because, take a look, just Google all the AI investments. There's trillions of dollars in it, and there's no way they're going to get that investment back. So we'll have a few winners at the end of this, which is fine. It's just the way it goes, and everyone's scrambling to be one of them. But militarily and from a government control point of view and world domination, countries can't afford to not do it. So because if you're, as a country, you don't have weapons, defenses, AI tools that can defend against other people using those tools, you're screwed. So to say that, we shouldn't be doing this, it's going to be massive layoffs and jobs, well, it's true, but it's coming. And the alternative is that we're no longer a free country. Someone else with AI weapons takes us over in 20 years. So what do you do about that? And I sit back a little bit because there's a lot of negativity towards AI. When you talk about it, some people are like, oh, you can't mention, this or that or whatever, because people get offended. They think AI is going to take the job and this and that. Okay, here. And it's happening and it's now. So do you want to learn how to use these tools to do these things? And we really need to take a step back and say the creative spark, the AI doesn't have what humans have. And I work with AI every day, and it suggests all sorts of things. And then I have to say, no, well, let's do it this way and bring it back and design a thing or work with it away in a creative solution that it would never think of. And it also can't take something in a completely unrelated field and creatively apply it to this. Say, oh, I saw something in the automotive industry that when they use windshield wipers and the intermittent timer, that we can apply that over here for something else. It doesn't necessarily automatically think that way. So we have to say it's here to stay. The job threats are happening. If you hadn't noticed, even before this year, we've had lots of talks about at the beginning of the year, we're talking about how much job loss there is, 20,000, 30,000. Every first quarter in the last few years has been massive job loss in the tech sector. We're still experiencing that, though a lot of it is blaming AI now, which is partially true because a lot of these companies are getting AI tools and stuff in place. But I also think it's a lot of corporate bloat. I think people are starting to understand the economics is changed, that we've had a good run for a while and we now need to shrink staff, and we will blame it on whatever it takes to get a lean, mean, more efficient machine because we can't afford to run with people only working 25% of the day. When people are working from home, they're not really giving their full time. When this has happened and that happened, our managers aren't really doing input. What used to take our development team half a day to do now takes 2 weeks because we have all this stuff and red tape and stuff in the way. How do we streamline these things? And so that when it comes to massive layoffs, we have the combination of technology and society and economics coming together saying, we can't afford to do things the same way. What tools do we have to change it? And how do we cover those things up? We've all worked for, I don't know about all of us, but I've worked for several enterprises that they cover the layoffs with whatever's happening. Even though it has more to do with economic and stuff that's going in time or some new managers coming in and cleaning up. So taking a step back, these massive job layoffs are coming. So what did he say about how people can say prevent the impact on them in the future?
Well, they can adopt AI. I don't know if that's what he said. I can't remember, but that's what people can do. People can learn to use AI, learn to leverage it, and be comfortable with it. I don't know if that's what he said. I can't remember. It was a really long article, but yeah.
Yeah, so AI does threaten entry-level jobs while supercharging profits for companies owning powerful AI. Like, you don't need huge, for example, social media companies anymore if you can program the right social media agents to do the things you want properly. However, that's a risky situation because tools are countering AI. People are detecting social media on AI on social media, and they're like not following or not responding to people that look like it's obvious AI comments or obvious AI posts and that kind of stuff. So we say we want the best of both worlds. We want AI tools to help us do this work, and we want them human, and we want to keep our jobs, and we want all this functionality rolled into one. It's not going to happen, right? So we have to kind of understand that when these new technologies come along that really are game changers, society has to change with it. Productivity has to change with it. Go ahead.
Yeah, research has also validated this. So there's a 2025 study that revealed that while 85 million jobs will be displaced by 2025, I think that's high, but 97 million new roles will simultaneously emerge. So they're saying this represents a net positive job creation, but the study also found that 77% of new AI jobs, they require master's degrees, which creates a skills gap. So it suggests that the transition is not going to be smooth, and displaced workers may lack qualifications for emerging roles. I disagree with this master's degree kind of thing when it comes to AI.
Well, I think they're going at the AI jobs that are the coders for OpenAI and Meta and whatnot. Okay, yeah, great. Maybe they're looking for specific master's degrees in specific areas of coding or philosophy or whatever to work with AI. However, most of the people I know that work with AI every day don't have those things.
Yeah. Even coding AI, like as long as you know Python, like I don't think that Like, I think there's room for people without master's degrees to code AI.
I honestly believe that the best coder I know doesn't have a degree, and he's built so many swarm coding platforms that are open source with, well over 200,000 stars on GitHub. Like it's amazing stuff. You don't have to. My saying is they are drawing the blueprint at what the job listings are at OpenAI and Meta at the AI company, saying these are the AI jobs.
Yeah.
Look, if you want to be the guys building the LLMs inside these companies at a high level, you need a certain level of degrees. Like if you're working inside them, it's okay, great. But if you're working with them, again, training, the tools are all out there, and it's faster and better every day. How to train, how to use, how to build agents, how to put all this stuff together. And what I can do today, tomorrow I can do 10 times more.
Yeah. And also, the other thing, too, is Hinton in this article, he lamented that the Trump administration's unwillingness to regulate AI more closely, while China is taking the threat more seriously, creates sort of a geopolitical dimension where different regulatory approaches could determine whether a development prioritizes societal benefit or competitive advantage.
Yeah, and this goes, leads us to the UBI conversation, right? Universal basic income. And he specifically rejected universal basic income as a solution to AI-induced unemployment. He argues that cash payments fail to address the psychological and social impact of job loss, which I agree with. People get their worth from their job. They have a sense of self-worth and value from delivering something of value, to give a good day's work. This is what I do, and I hold value in this. UI won't deal with the human dignity perspective. So there's all I would really like UBI to work, but I think it will never will. Side of the point of that conversation, I think you're on the other side, that you think UBI will work, and that's okay. I mean, I'm
hoping to work and study.
Yeah. Okay, I think we can have a separate whole debate about that, because we're way off topic here, but I'd love to go through that. So let's find an article of that in the future about what's going on so we can debate that, because I think that'd be a great discussion. But it's the motivation aspect. Okay, so society falls apart when people aren't motivated. So if you give people today UBI and $2,000 a month, we're just throwing it out there, they're going to sit at home on their couch, order Uber Eats, smoke their weed or vapes, and play video games all day long. That's all.
Not everyone.
Oh, not everyone. No. The mass majority of people.
Okay.
On UBI. Because the point being is, you can start and do something now. If you're on unemployment, you can start a community, you can create art, you can do all these things, but those things aren't happening. People are, and we are a different generation than a generation that's coming up now. Okay. So our mindset is different than the 20 and 30-year-olds that are happening now. And it's a completely different mindset. They don't have the same drive, work ethic, the sense of hard day's work, because they don't have the same family home. They didn't grow up with the same ethics. They didn't grow. It's different. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it's different. Our father taught us, you do what you say you're going to do. You do a hard day's work. You're proud of your work. You're not embarrassed, but if you do something wrong, you fix it, blah, blah, blah. You own up to your mistakes, and if you don't have that bounding when you have dinner every day with your family and get that ingrained in you, then you don't have that. And we don't have dinner around the table anymore. We have shift work. We have this, we have that. And, just society changes. So that's why I say when UBI, that method of, I want to go and create, like someone like me, I'd still be creating communities and doing the things I'm doing because I love doing this. So it would just free me up to do some of those things, but I can make money doing it this much. But people who aren't, they're not going to be motivated to do things on this. So how do you address that? So let's not go away with it. He suggested that UBI won't fix the inadequacy of the issue of, say, okay, we have a whole generation now that are working and making X number of dollars a year salary, paying their rent, doing whatever, in a relationship where they can pay their bills, doing what have you. 2 years from now, they're on UBI. What does that do to your mental state? What does that do to your life and your relationship? What does that do to the stuff around you? This is what I'm saying. UBI doesn't take your human dignity, doesn't take all that. If you,
Would it allow you to focus on what you love?
my point being is you're in a situation where you're defined by your work in your relationship, what have you, and all of a sudden you don't have that anymore. So that value goes away.
But without the stress of where am I going to get my next dollar from, doesn't that allow you to focus on what you want to do?
I think that's a different mindset. So that's my point being is if you grow up in a state saying, I need to do something, it doesn't matter what I do, I'm going to have UBI support me, but here's what I do. That's great. That's one thing. That's another thing of saying I've had to have a job all of my life to support myself, and now I can't support myself. UBI could be taken away from me anytime. My spouse doesn't respect me because I'm not working. I feel less about myself because I can't get a fucking job anymore. Like, this is what goes through people's mind. You can say it frees people up, but the impact is psychological. It's not, okay, oh, I can do stuff now. It's, wow, I can't even make my own living and earn my own way in this world anymore. What happened to me?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a difference there. I mean, some people will take it, hey, I'm freed up, but I think that's the minority. I think people tie their self-worth on their income, their relationship rate on how much money you can bring in. All of a sudden you're an UBI. That's great, but you can't afford the mortgage anymore, or half of it, and your spouse is like, what's going on? Like, there's a lot to unpack in that situation when you go from a full-time career job to not. That is a different situation than growing up into a world of UBI where you have options. That's all. Anyway, and I think he's right where he say it doesn't deal with the human dignity situation of the, how you think about yourself.
But I think that's it. I think it's the shift that's going to shift everything to make UBI more of a palatable.
We'll see. We'll see.
Like, it's going to force it, right? Anyway.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know how this works, and I'm not optimistic about it, but I hope it does, because it's a solution. I hope they find a way to make it work and that it helps our society, but I just can't see how that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And anyway, we got a little bit off, but this is the whole thing. Actually, it's all aligned. Is AI going to take all the jobs away? Do you see a utopia future where people don't have to work and they actually living a productive society life? Or do you see a reclusive life like I do, where people are just sitting on their couch, smoking weed, playing video games all day because they have no motivation to do anything because food and drink and everything's paid for? Life is good. Tell me what you think is the future with AI. Is everybody going to have a job? Is AI going to run the world? Are we all going to be in prison camps for AI doing the physical things that it can't do? Is Skynet 5 years away? Let us know. We'd love to hear your comments. What do you got going on, John?
Oh, just working away, helping companies secure government funding. Maybe heading to a couple events. Not sure what's coming up. So this will probably come out after Elevate.
Yeah.
So Elevate probably would have been a great time. But yeah, how about you, Craig? What do you have?
So assuming this is in November, we got a Flowgrammer event and a Toronto Startup Investor Drinks. If you're in the GTA area and want to learn or be part of a Flowgrammer, N8N, or Vibe Coding meetup group, join us. Go to flowgrammer.ca and check out the upcoming events and join us. If you want to find out more about how to take your startup to the next level, head over to torontostarts.com. Our events there, Startup Investor Drinks. So we do monthly. It's open bar, open pitch. It's an intimate event, and the conversations are next level. So check all that out there, and we'll see you in the future. Anything else, John?
No, that's it.
So thanks, everyone, for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. We really appreciate it. Have a great one.